I think we're back. Yeah, I know you've been debating Christian Eriksen. I do agree with Simon to a certain extent. I think he does feel a debt of gratitude to Brentford for allowing him to relaunch his career last season. It was a year ago last weekend, those terrible scenes in Copenhagen when he collapsed on the pitch.
Yeah.
I don't think he believes he owes them quite a big enough debt to stay at Brentford. I think he sees his future elsewhere, despite the fact that Brentford have offered him a very lucrative contract, making him the highest paid player on their books. I think he still wants to test himself, Christian Eriksen, at the top level. Newcastle, Manchester United, Everton have all been in contact, as well as clubs abroad, with his agent. So he's certainly one of the most sought-after players this summer. I think Tottenham at the moment are fairly confident. They believe they're in the box seat for Christian Eriksen. He's got history with that football club. He still has a good relationship with the supporters, despite the fact he left. Antonio Conte knows his strengths all too well. And I think crucially, I've been told by more than one source that his family are settled in London. They don't really want to leave the capital. So surely that puts Tottenham very much at the forefront of his mind.
There you go. You're shaking your head, Mr. Jordan. What do you think?
Oh, no, absolutely. If it's all about Christian Eriksen, then that's fine.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It is all about Christian Eriksen.
Well, no.
What else is it about?
Well, it's about Brentford as well. Because on one hand, you recognise the fabulous opportunity it will give you, but on the other hand, you're not so bothered about that.
But I think you can say, thank you very much, really appreciate it. I done a good job for you. You benefited, I benefited, and we both leave. Simple as that. And that's all it comes down to.
It's about. I mean, if you're sitting on one side of the fence looking at it, I suppose as a former owner, saying I'm looking at this from the perspective of how players operate and what they should and shouldn't be grateful for, and how they should and shouldn't return that gratitude.
I'm going to be biased and obviously sit on the side of the players.
I know you are. Yeah.
Those players that sign contract and then clubs are desperate to try and get rid of, and the players that sit there and say, no, I'll take the money, thank you. You don't want to play me. It's a different manager. Then they get accused of not leaving.
Which is the bulk of you players. When you get something you don't want, you
leave
when you
don't offer the big contracts in the first place.
No. Or the flip side of it, be worth the contract you're offered, and not have that situation where someone has to put you parked on the sidelines. But
you only get a contract if you're worth it in the first place.
And then
if not chairman owners wouldn't give you that contract.
And then the question is, you have to continue to be worth it. We've just seen Aubameyang get a contract based upon his historic performances and then stink the place out for the next 2 years. It's about being consistently worth something.
Alex, what have you got for us in Sadio Mane? Is he heading to Munich?
I think he will eventually. We know that Bayern have already had 2 bids rejected by Liverpool. Liverpool want £40 million to part company with Sadio Mane. They want the bulk of the money up front.
Does he not have a degree of loyalty to Liverpool?
Well, listen, that's for you and Simon Jordan to debate.
Yes, they're going to get £40 million for him.
What's interesting here is I think Bayern Munich are making harder work of this, and they really need to. I think Liverpool are happy for Sadio Mane to leave with their blessing. They've already got a replacement in the building in the form of Darwin Núñez, who, of course, was confirmed yesterday. But one of the bids that I've talked about included certain performance-based add-ons. That isn't unusual, but I'm told one of those add-ons would have required Sadio Mane to win the Ballon d'Or not once, not twice, but 3 times for a bonus payment to kick in. Now, if you look at the history of Ballon d'Or over the last few years, unless your name is Messi or Ronaldo, you don't win the Ballon d'Or. So that clause clearly is irrelevant. Sadio Mane, for his part, has made it clear to Liverpool that he wants a fresh challenge, wants to go and test himself at Bayern Munich. So no issue in terms of personal terms. I expect this to happen, but as I say, Bayern aren't doing themselves too many favours at this moment in time with the way that they're trying to negotiate. Liverpool see on the cheap, really, for a quality player. And I've mentioned they've got Núñez in. I still think Sadio Mane will be a big loss to Liverpool.
Okay. Enough of Liverpool for the moment. What about United? Manchester United. They're doing business this lunchtime.
They're trying. They are trying to do business, and I understand that Manchester United fans are getting a bit impatient when they're seeing it. Erling Haaland in at Manchester City. Núñez, one of their targets, already has signed for Liverpool. Frenkie de Jong is progressing. Again, it's progressing slowly because Barcelona have a certain valuation that at the moment Manchester United aren't willing to pay. Another name in the frame is that of the Porto midfielder Vitinha. Strong sources in Portugal suggesting Manchester United very keen on this player. He has a £34 million release clause in his contract. I'm told Manchester United are considering activating that. He's certainly a target. He had a loan spell, Vitinha, at Wolves a couple of seasons ago. Didn't pull up too many trees, but he did score a wonder goal in the FA Cup against Chorley Town.
Okay, and we're getting through it. We spoke earlier on about Kalvin Phillips. Like the other England players last night, didn't exactly cover himself in glory. And we constantly hear talk of Phillips to City, Manchester City. What's the likelihood, Alex?
I think it will happen, Jim. And I'm intrigued to get Danny Mills' views on this because the fee is going to be £45-50 million. I'm not sure Kalvin Phillips is a Manchester City player. I think he's a good player at a certain level. Obviously, Leeds missed him last season when he was injured. The stats tell you that they're a worse performing team when he's not in it. But is he as good?
You mean you weren't listening earlier, Alex? What were you doing?
Well said, Danny.
We went through this. I thought you were supposed to be like talkSPORT Employee of the Year, Alex. Across all this.
He was in the middle of another snack, I suspect.
Oh, that's harsh.
I said if he goes there, he doesn't get in the starting 11 for the biggest games. I think he will start off in and around he'll play 20, 30 games next season. But Rodri is a better player as the one-off holding midfield player that obviously Pep likes to play more often than not. He's going to have to change the way that he plays, adapts, and work his way into that team. He doesn't go there, even at sort of 50, 55, 60 million pounds, whatever it might be, and get up to. He doesn't go there and walk into the first team.
And I guess he's replacing Fernandinho. Those are big shoes to fill. I think part of the attraction is that he's English and there's a certain homegrown quota that Manchester City want to hit. But I think it's a big step up for Kalvin Phillips. I think it's a good deal for Leeds, to be honest with you. If they get £50 million, I think that's good money.
Reports that you've been in the sea down there, on the south coast today. Is this the first swim of the summer season?
It's just about to. Held off before speaking to you guys, but I am sat here in my swim trunks. I can see the sea.
No,
on the horizon.
Okay,
on the horizon.
Mind you don't get harpooned.
We're good. We can only see your face on Zoom and not the rest of it.
Yeah, do us a favour. Don't stand up, Alex. Coast Guard ready. It's 12:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.